All right, this is the Patreon mini campaign, Into the World. We're going to do character creation tonight.
Dig the damn first one of 2021.
Wah, wah, wah.
That's right. So, a little bit about what Into the World is. It's a fantasy flight game that is set. You play yourself, and we're going to do a character roll-up, essentially, where you're going to try to put as many stats in as possible that relate to yourself, but we are going to have a few rules to the game. We're not going to get into the rules just yet, but just to knock this out at the beginning, we're not going to have any family or children involved in this because this can get pretty intense from a personal standpoint, and only share things that you're comfortable sharing. And if the game sort of balances it out a little bit, if you're trying to be a little bit too positive about yourself or a little bit too negative about yourself, you guys will be able to help control who you really are, because you have a way of viewing yourself, but then your friends tend to get you back in line a little bit. So that's what we're going to do tonight to do our character creation. So each of you should have a character sheet. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through the character creation that's broke up into 4 different phases. First phase is we're going to be doing, each of you are going to figure out what your individual features and personality trait type of things are. Then we're going to do some voting, we're going to do some equipment, and then we're going to list some traumas. So this is going to sort of round your character out as we do this.
I heard traumas in my heart.
That's right. That's right.
Great.
So
Everyone immediately looked at Elena when Suze John said trauma.
I mean, I was gonna say you're probably just gonna get Bryn and Falls room, but I mean, I guess Bill wasn't surviving a shipwreck.
I guess I could have just filled your character sheet out for you then, right?
You all might just get Grimby. I mean, Grimby and I share a lot of characteristics, the good and the bad.
You're missing 2 fingers?
Yeah, I do only have
Feeble-minded?
3 fingers.
Feeble-minded, that's what I was going to say.
I went there. Is this a trauma? Let's go.
Now, I think that should go under mental trauma.
So basically we have 3 different areas. You have physical, mental, and social that are broken down into 2 different categories. You have an offensive and defensive of each of those categories. So physical, your offensive is dexterity, and your defensive is vitality. With mental, your offensive is logic, and your defensive is willpower. And with social, your offensive is charisma, and your defensive is empathy. So if you look at your character sheets, you're going to see that there's numbers from 1 to 5 on each of those subcategories. So like dexterity has a number going from 1 to 5. You will put a circle right now, a light circle, on all the 1s across the board because everybody starts out with a 1 in each category.
So, sorry, circle 1 in every single one.
Yep. So all the 1s at the bottom of each of these, physical, mental, and social, each at the bottom of each thing, dexterity, vitality, logic, willpower, charisma, and empathy. Each of you will have a 1 starting out. Now, you're going to get 10 points to distribute amongst all those categories now. So, for example, say you might think you're physically very dexterous, so you might give yourself a 3, move yourself up from a 1 to a 3 in dexterity, which would remove 2 from your 10 points. So you'd have 8 more to distribute across the board. So the first thing we'll do is everybody just on their own right now, because we're going to be going through and discussing these. Take and split your 10 points up how you feel you as a person would best fit these categories. You can't go above a 5.
What if I don't need all 10?
I'll take your points because I need them.
I'm guessing vitality is like...
So if you need a little bit of help, I can read to you what they say. Dexterity is your coordination and general motor skills. Balance, speed, grace, all are governed by dexterity.
I'm gracious, right?
Sure. Vitality is your physical strength and toughness, and determines elements of your character ranging from how much weight you can lift to how much you can resist disease or toxins. So think of it as sort of a mix of strength and constitution in a way. Mental is logic is your logical awareness of your surroundings and ability to think on your feet. If you are using hacking into a secure computer system or noticing an ambush, that's where logic will come in. So it could be sort of like your intelligence and your probably perception. You could think. Willpower would be your defensive on mental. Willpower represents your memory and mental resilience. So, Bill, you can't have a 0, but you probably want to leave that at 1. And social, charisma, as we know, charisma, your general demeanor and your social skills. It governs how easily you can use words and actions to sway others. So, negotiations, things like that. And empathy is your ability to understand and sympathize with others, from determining whether someone is lying or predicting an adversary's next move would be more your social. So think about how you in real life feel that you're strong or weak in those areas.
I'm starting to wonder how I function.
Interesting.
I've been wondering that for... Oh, I don't know. How long have we known each other? I think the last 15 years probably have been the ones where I question every day.
Well, I'm glad I didn't use pen. I talked about how I was going to be ballsy and use pen. This is not a pen character sheet.
Done.
I'm done.
Seriously only used 8 points.
As far as I think I have charisma, but...
I could use another 5, personally.
I personally think I have charisma, but I think it's accurate to give myself a 1 in charisma.
I wouldn't say you're a 1. But we'll get
but
to that
Well,
one.
that's part of the creation, too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, everybody has somewhat of a skill, right?
I'll explain what I gave myself the most in, I think.
Okay. Everybody good?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So the next part of the character creation is where everybody sort of gets involved and we go through each of these classifications for each character. And the way it's supposed to work at the table is you have a positive die, say a red die, and a negative die, say a black die. And we would have a bag. So, for example, let's say I said with my physical characteristics, I have a dexterity of 2. Then each of you, we would pass the bag around the table and you would put in a positive die if you think it should be higher, good or higher, or a negative die if you think it should be lower. We would go all the way around, then I would dump all those out and we would look, and if you get more positives dice, then you would raise it up 1. And if you would get more negative dice, you would raise it down. If there was an equal amount of dice, we would leave it where it is. So up to you guys how you want to do this. You could either keep it a secret and you can just ping me on Discord, or we can do it publicly. I mean, you can't do it with your thumbs up and thumbs down because they can see you.
Well, if you're doing it publicly, we can.
Well, I was going to say, I know and love you guys, but I don't want to be, stewing over what you decided. I'd rather do it anonymously.
Okay, that's fine.
I was going to say, I'd be fine. I would be fine with
I'm
whatever.
going to try to do it.
Because I know that...
Public
well,
me.
I know you guys know me. We know each other pretty well at this point, but I don't think any of us need to be ruminating, why did so-and-so think this? So,
I certainly wouldn't care.
I honestly, I don't think these are going to be so specific that I would be upset if you guys said my logic needed to go down.
Okay, fine.
I think with the Incorrigible party, we could be pretty straightforward and just try to be honest and don't try to be nice.
So I'm worried about my feelings getting hurt, and you guys sort of
Yeah,
we're going to stomp all over those feelings.
What's this section about very self-conscious about being judged by others and easily getting butt hurt? What's that one?
We'll get to that.
Is that for me or
Elena
for
gets
you?
a 0.
When we get to your character sheet, we'll feel
So
it.
in the event of so when they're doing and passing out the plus or minus die, what if you think that their stat is good? You would just put nothing in the bag?
Once all the votes are collected, mix up and dump the dice on the table, count the number of positives. Let me see. At the time the player's representative voted, each character undergoes a voting character.
Is John voting to make it a tiebreaker? Oh no, that'd be evening it.
Says positive dice. One of the two characteristics in the category should be raised. negative die, one of the two characteristics in the should be lowered, or both dice. I'm sorry, that's what you do. You put two dice in.
Okay.
So you guys could do you do positive right hand, negative left hand, or just say it.
Positive, negative, stay the same.
Well, I think we need to. Okay, however you want to do it. People are listening, so we might as well just say it.
We need to say it. Yeah.
They can't hear our thumbs?
Exactly. I mean, my thumb's pretty loud.
Say ding ding for positive and ding dong for negative.
Hold on, I want to see if they can hear my thumb.
I'll insert a cricket noise. Okay, do me first.
Okay.
Okay.
Everybody dogpile on Leland.
So we're gonna do it. We're gonna do physical, mental, and social, right? So you're gonna tell us what your dexterity score is and what your vitality score is, and then we'll vote on whether they should be one of the two characteristics in the category should be raised, one of the two characteristics should be lowered, or both characteristics should stay the same. Does that make sense?
Oh, interesting. So
we're doing them both at the same time?
Oh, so we don't know which one should be raised.
Right. So for example, I say, Leland, what are your dexterity and vitality scores?
I vote myself as a dexterity of 3 and a vitality of 2.
Okay. So, Emily, do you feel that those are appropriate? Does he need to raise one of those, lower one of those, or do you think that he judged himself well?
I would say he would need to raise one of those.
Okay. So we have a vote for plus. You would. Okay. All right.
Could you repeat the scores again?
Dexterity at 3 and vitality at 2.
I think he needs to raise one.
All right. So we got another positive, and then Bill.
I agree. I give him a raise.
Okay. So
all right.
what you're going to do is...
Suckers!
This is his plan all along.
Just got a free point.
What a fiend.
So as you see, underneath each of those characteristics, physical, mental, and social, a little further down it says features. So Leland, I want you to put a plus and a minus at the beginning of the line there. And then since they ask you to raise one of those, I want you to put another negative down under features. So since they gave you a higher score, you're going to get another negative feature.
Sounds like a bad deal.
Potentially.
Okay, everyone, give me negatives, please.
You all just fucked. Okay.
The first 3 lines, it would have a plus, negative, negative, each on a separate line?
Everybody gets 1 plus and 1 minus on all of the features.
On separate lines?
Separate lines, yeah.
Yeah, plus, and then you're going to fill things into those later. One being a positive feature and one being a negative feature.
Okay.
So Leland, we'll get to how that works in a little bit.
So I get to raise. I'm raising one of these then.
You can raise whichever one you want.
Well, I mean, it's fairly clear that everyone thinks the vitality is a little low.
Yeah,
I just thought
Dungeons,
you were very
Dragons, and
dexterous.
deadlifts.
I'm going to bump the vitality up a little bit. It's mostly because I ran out of points.
All right, so we can. When you want to go around and do all the physical and then mental and social,
Sure,
or do you want to do one character each?
Sure.
Okay, so we're going to go on my screen. So we'll go to Emily. Emily, what's your physical numbers?
For dexterity, I have a 1. And for vitality, I have a 2.
All right, so you guys tell me your numbers. Leland, what do you think?
I mean,
If you say good,
yeah,
we'll do a positive and
I think
negative.
they sound fine.
All right. I can't vote, but I think probably high.
I mean, I'm trying to cut her a bit of slack here, but I think I'm good, safe.
I run into something several times a day. So.
Yeah, Emily, I think you need to lower one of them. Listen, she said she wouldn't be offended.
That's right. All right.
The poor girl can't walk upstairs very easily. Come on.
I can't.
That's not vitality 2.
Bill, what do you think?
I think I'm gonna stick with leave it the same.
Okay. So that is
Y'all are liars.
so that's actually
Now I'm all red and embarrassed.
So
I'm not upset.
I know.
if we add all the dice together, you would have 2 positives and 3 negatives. So that means you would go down in one of those 2.
Well, since I can't go down in dexterity, I guess it'll be vitality.
Okay,
so then-
sorry, I hate to interrupt you, John, but my reasoning, I mean, maybe this is actually part of the character creation, but I voted to say the same because I felt at this point, Emily's lived long enough with her, with all of her ailments and the amount of pain that she's hit a baseline of vitality. It might not be a full 2, like it's a low 2, and maybe even a high 1, but it's a
let's face
baseline.
it, it's not going up.
Oh, this is gold.
So, Emily, you're going to add a positive feature down at the bottom
Okay.
of your physical. Yeah, so a little plus sign. All right, let's go to Elena. So we'll start with Bill. Bill,
I have to tell you what I put.
Tell us what you got.
I gave. Bill's not gonna believe me because 33-year-old me is not the younger version of me. But I put 2 for
Tell
dexterity.
me about it.
Okay, 2 for dexterity. I used to play sports.
You're 33?
In a month. In a month, I'm 33.
Oh, okay. I was worried
I mean,
for
by
a
the
minute
time
there
this
because
comes
I
out,
thought I was 33.
You are 33.
Good. I thought I was confused and I'm actually 34.
I'm jumping the gun. I'm like wishing for 2021. Okay, and then I put vitality 3. Y'all think whatever you want. But I put
2 and
a
3. Okay. Bill, you think that's good?
Can I pass?
Listen, he said
Nobody can be offended. If
the
you're
way
offended, then
the way he described vitality, I felt like I can deal with pain and
you want me to
stuff.
read?
Yeah,
Can,
could
can you
read
read
it again?
vitality again,
Yeah.
please?
All right. Vitality is your physical strength and toughness. It
I'm
determines
tough.
elements of your character ranging from how much weight you can lift to how well you can resist disease or toxins.
Oh, that's where I fail.
Okay. It's quite involved as far as a singular descriptor goes. So,
Yeah,
okay.
that's going to need to go down.
Well, I did put mine
Okay.
pretty high. Yeah, I think I'm going to vote down as well.
Oh, I was going to say stay the same.
It's
All right.
fine.
Well, we're still going down then.
I'm not offended. It's fine.
That was the least enthusiastic. It's fine.
I didn't get to explain why I thought I was tough and stuff, but it's fine.
Why do you think you're tough?
Because I am.
I can't argue with an argument like that.
So what do I add, a positive then?
You would add a positive feature down at the bottom.
I'm definitely not dexterous though.
And you
Those-
drop one
that's
of
what
those
I'm-
down one?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So I'll be 2 and 2.
Bill, what'd you have for physical?
For dexterity 3, I'm a little uncoordinated at times, but
Yeah.
not terrible. Vitality 4,
Nice.
because I very rarely get sick. I have an iron gut.
Mm.
I tend to be generally healthy all the time.
All right. So what's everybody think
Although
of those?
vitality
Just-
strength too, right? I'm not near as strong as I used to be. Maybe that was a little bit
I think
too high.
there's some give and take within its description, right?
I think your vitality's
Mhm.
spot on, but I don't know about your dexterity.
Could you read
All right.
dexterity one more time?
Sure. Dexterity is coordination and general motor skills. Balance, speed, and grace are
He is
governed
not
by
a
dexterity.
speedy person. He
Well,
is a sloth.
You know what I will say? I've never seen Bill fall out of his chair on a Zoom call. Because that is the only time I've ever spent with Bill.
So we have seen pictures of his nose.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That was not a dexterous fall.
That's true.
Okay. I like
I do
with
have
the
a history
vitality.
of
You know
hitting
what?
my head on things.
I kind of feel like, okay, I'm officially going to vote to just leave it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna vote an okay.
I was going to vote go down.
Okay, you're going down. So it's
Yeah.
going down. So you get to pick one of those two. It's your choice. And then put yourself a positive.
Yeah. Now that I think about the dexterity, I think that's fair. I have fallen face first and broken my nose.
You literally
While
just
walking.
tripped on the dog gate twice last week.
Yeah.
So does that make
Totally
your
screwed
dex?
up my ankle.
Does that make your dex a 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So mine's at
Alright.
a 3 right now. Do you think you're more dexterous than I am?
We
don't know.
We haven't even met
Well,
you.
I know
We
that's
haven't
such a hard thing to judge when you've never actually physically
sure
been in
you
the same
exist.
room with a person.
You could be a hologram.
It's a very well coordinated AI program.
Yeah, if he's an AI, it's pretty good.
I don't know. Leland spills wine all over his desk.
Oh yeah, there have been some
That was one time.
things. Yeah. We can only base on what we know.
Do I need to add a? I need to add a negative.
down,
Right?
so you add a positive. Put a plus sign down in your features because you're going to get a positive feature from this. All right, we're going to move around now. We did everybody, right? Mm-hmm. So we're going to go to Leland and we're going to do mental. What'd you get for logic and willpower?
Logic is at a 4. Willpower is at a 2.
All right, Emily, how do you feel about Leland's assessment of his mental capacity?
I think it needs to go down.
I was gonna say, let's read a quick definition again. Edit that
Okay.
part out.
What do you want?
Your willpower needs to go down, Leland.
No logic.
Logic.
4 just seems high.
Logic
Whoa!
is your awareness of your surroundings
you're
and
average.
ability. Is he aware of his surroundings?
More so than I am, but that's just about everybody in the world.
His ability to think on his feet. If you are hacking into a secure
Yeah, he could do that.
computer system, noticing an ambush. That's the...
Maybe it's fine then. It's fine.
All right, so you're saying stay the same then.
Yeah.
All right, Lena?
And you gave yourself a 1 for willpower?
A 2.
Oh, but a full pizza and sushi and...
I know. I had an extra point to spend, and I just put it there.
Okay, stay the same. Stay the same.
All right, Bill? Down?
I'm voting down.
All right. So take one of those down, a peg.
All right. So the willpower really should be at a 1. I agree with that.
But in all of our defenses, it is 2020.
Yeah.
Willpower is a thing of
What is willpower?
next year.
Yeah, but it's been 2020 for about 15 years for me. So I guess I get a plus in my features then.
Yes, you do. You
Okay,
get
cool.
So it's
another
just
plus.
one person downvoting that changes that, eh? I didn't realize that.
With you four, yeah.
All right.
Well, if everybody else is saying stay the same, then yeah.
Oh, yeah, like we tied, yeah.
So then we'll go to Emily. What'd you have for your mental?
Logic, I put 3, and willpower, I put 2.
All right. Elena, how you feel about that?
From what I know of Emily, that's okay.
Bill?
Seems good.
Wait. 3 logic.
I honestly
2
want to give her
willpower?
more logic, actually.
Do you want to raise it?
Yeah, I'll raise it.
I think I'll vote good.
Okay.
Down to you,
Stay the
Leland.
Oh, man. I either want to say the same or go up as well. I'm trying to think. I don't think I'm more logical than Emily. So I think I'm going to vote up as well. I'm going to vote up.
All right. Emily.
I guess I'm really thinking of it as at its base definition of actually the definition of logic is maybe I'm tunnel visioning on that bit of logic too much.
Well, okay, think about when the 5 of us play a
Yeah.
board game. Who knows what's going on and figures it all out? Emily. Don't cringe at that, Emily. Come on. You keep us on track.
Would problem solving be part
I
of
would
logic?
think so more than any of the other.
Because I'm really good at problem solving.
But does Emily?
I don't know actually how good Emily is at problem solving.
Well, if you watched our live streams, you'd know how good we both are at problem solving.
She does tend to have good ideas when we're playing Aspara.
Well, she's already bumped up, right?
Yeah,
If we both set
I
up.
guess
Yep.
2 of us set up.
Yeah, you did say
This
that.
is really
so-
just for posterity, Bill. Now you can either get in our good books.
I'll keep it the same.
So bump
Three's
one of those
pretty
two
good.
up and give you a negative down at your features.
Okay.
That's the thing. We can be thinking we want our logic higher, but she can choose to bump up her willpower or whatever, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right, Elena, what'd you put down?
I put a 2 for logic and a 3 for willpower.
All right, Bill, you agree with that?
2 for logic and a 3 for willpower. Yeah.
Leland?
I think I want to say up. I don't know. I'm really struggling with this logic thing. I want to say up. I think up.
I want to say up also for logic.
All right, there you go.
Okay.
Raise one of those two
Suck
up.
ups.
Now you don't have to raise the one up that they're talking about. You either one of the two.
Yeah, well, I think it was the ability to see an ambush coming or something where I was like, oh yeah, I'm too naive for that. I'm very naive sometimes. Bill has to explain things to me all the time. Okay, so I took a negative feature then.
How many times has Bill pointed out an ambush to you?
Well, ambush specifically?
Yes.
Nothing.
Well,
We don't often get ambushed.
that's because you're always aware.
Yeah, you're always avoiding them. Good job, Phil.
But you know,
Thanks
like
to me.
perception or whatever, yeah, I'm not the most perceptive person.
Okay, Bill, what'd you have for mental?
So I think logic is my strongest suit overall. So I give myself a 4. And I have very poor willpower, so I give myself a 1.
All right, Leland, how you feel about that?
That sounds fine to me.
All right, Emily?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Perfect. Right there. Leave it.
Oh, right on. So nothing changes. You just leave everything exactly the same. I think it's the first time we've had one
Wow.
across the board, isn't it?
Bill really knows his mind.
I spend a lot of
So
time
does he
in
get
it.
a negative feature or a positive feature?
He doesn't get nothing. Everything stays the same.
So he doesn't get any feature at the bottom.
Nope. Which can be a good or bad thing. We'll get around to that. So now we head to social. So here we go, Leland. What do you
All
got
right,
for your
Leland.
social skills?
Get your BS charisma in here.
Charisma, I gave myself a 3. And empathy, I gave myself a 2.
Emily?
It needs to go up. Charisma needs to go up.
Okay.
Are we going to do what we did? Let's read the definitions real quick. Because we did it for all the others.
Charisma is your general demeanor and social skills. Governs how easily you can use words and actions to sway others. More of a negotiation type of thing. And empathy is your ability to understand and sympathize with others, determining whether someone is lying or predicting an adversary's next move. So what was your numbers again? You said 3 and what?
3 in charisma, 2 empathy.
Yeah, I think, Leland, you need to go up.
Okay. Bill?
I agree. Up.
Yep, so move that baby up and give yourself a negative feature down at the bottom. A negative...
Okay. I'm not sure which one to bump up. I used to be a lot more
Charisma.
empathetic.
Yeah, I was thinking more about how you're pretty persuasive, and in an argument you can make stuff up and just convince anybody of
right.
anything.
All right, charisma goes to 4. Wow, you're really charismatic, Elena. You really convinced me. I can't wait to hear yours.
Persuasive.
All right, Emily, what'd you have for social?
For charisma, I put 2, and empathy, I put 3.
All right, Elena, how you feel about those?
Up.
Bill?
I agree. Up.
Yeah, I'm going to say up too. I think you're much more empathetic than that.
All right. Everybody feels that empathy should be up, right? Just out of curiosity.
No, I think charisma
Personally,
as
I was
well.
thinking empathy was low, but yeah, I think she's more sociable than... Would you give yourself a 2?
Yeah. 2 for charisma and 3 for empathy.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
But we all ran out of points at some point. So
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
I had
Yeah.
extra points.
Okay, I'm gonna get out of here.
Oh my goodness.
All right, Elena, what'd you put for social?
I gave myself a 2 for charisma and a 4 for empathy.
Okay. Bill, how you feel about that?
I think that sometimes I'm a little bit too high energy and blunt with people, like social skill wise. You either like me or you don't.
Well, it says, careful negotiations or harsh threats. So maybe harsh threats might...
She excels in the
I
hard
just,
threat
you know,
department.
you enjoy someone who talks a lot or you don't.
I think it should go up 1.
Boy, oh boy. This is a tough one because,
I just knew I wanted my empathy for, though. I feel
for
pretty strong on
empathy,
that.
Nobody's
I feel-
that empathetic. Come on. That's interesting. I've never honestly gotten any empathy from you ever. Maybe it's just me.
What?
Leland's voting down.
As soon as I looked at this, I was like, oh, I'm going to be highest in empathy. That's what my self-perception is. Doesn't mean it's right.
Sure, yeah, no, that makes sense. Man. I think your charisma's a little low, but I think the empathy's high, so I don't really know what to do. So I think I'm just going to go with a
Bill's
stay.
chanting something. What?
I'm going to go with the stay then, because I'm torn between the two of them.
Cop out. Bill's over here chanting something after he already said up, like a good husband.
What do you think, Emily? Do you think it should up, stay the same, or down?
I'm thinking maybe charisma needs to go up.
So you're going to vote up then. So, okay, there you go. Up. Up it is.
Well, you learned something new about me today. I think I'm an empathetic person. Leland.
You are very empathetic.
Maybe behind the scenes.
I just said
just not towards Leland.
Yeah, I just said personally, I've never received any empathy from you.
Shut up.
There, now we're getting our harsh threats out. That charisma's bumping up right away. All right, Bill, what'd you do?
A 3 for charisma and a 1 for empathy.
Wow. What do you think, Leland? Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, he definitely has a cold heart as far as empathy. That's for sure. The charisma, though, I think you're more charismatic than you give yourself. I'm gonna say a bump.
Up. Okay. Yeah. Emily.
Up.
All right. Elena.
Well, he's getting bumps no matter what I say, so it's fine.
Elena, empathy can't go to negatives.
You could say double negative.
1 is the lowest empathy
I will
can
tell
go,
you
honey.
that as his wife, empathy is not his strong suit at all. I'm glad you're self-aware. But yeah,
Shots
I do think your
fired.
charisma's higher
What
than...
I lack in empathy, I fully make up for in
I
self-awareness.
do think your charisma's higher than a 2.
Very true.
If I'm a charisma of 2, I think you're higher. You're more diplomatic than myself. So bump yourself up.
So I add a negative?
Yes, you would bump one of those up and add a negative.
No
down at the
willpower and no empathy, you guys. Frickin' boys.
Those are my 2 lowest ones, but yeah, as well.
I think I used to be more empathetic.
Same, man. I used to be so
prior
fucking
years.
empathetic. I don't know what happened.
Jaded.
The world has sucked it out of me.
So cynical.
I don't know. I think maybe I don't talk about my career, but that's where I feel like I'm most empathetic.
But yeah, you need to be really
you are.
empathetic if you're in the medical industry, right? Bill?
Not if you're Bill.
Not if you care if your patients live or die.
Yeah, I don't care. So, in all the fairness, I went ahead and filled mine out too, so anybody can rip on me.
Oh,
as much
here
as
we
you
go.
want.
Oh,
Here
great.
we go.
So physical, I gave myself a 2, and vitality a 3, because I don't get sick very often, and I think I can pretty much eat and drink about anything and not really. Especially
I really
like
hope we
hot
didn't
sauces
jinx
and things like
ourselves,
that.
and by the time this comes out, Bill and John are like sick as dogs.
So, yeah, we don't have to do my score, so I just want to tell you. Logic, I gave a 3, and willpower a 2, so feel free to rip at if you want to. And social, I gave myself charisma a 4 and empathy a 2. And I think
your empathy is like a -5.
High on empathy, that's what I say.
Oh, you had some
Your
point.
empathy is
room for-
way down.
I agree that your charisma's probably the highest out of all of us.
I think probably ability to sway others, maybe in negotiation potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're very good
If
with
you
people.
take empathy to the point where you say, determining what others are lying and predicting their next move, I think if you look at empathy in that way, I would probably be pretty good with empathy.
Yeah.
But if you look at it in, just caring about others.
Right, that's where I struggle a bit with their definition
Me too.
of empathy, because
yeah,
to me...
I'm like lasering in on the actual words they're using to describe the more broader categories, maybe.
Because I'm pretty good at reading other people,
Yeah, better than me.
but I'm not.
I
very
also know
empathetic.
how to read.
There you go.
I knew how to read words.
The reason this is going to come into play, and we're going to do some more things here in a second, but you will roll a pool of dice. We're going to be using 6-sided dice. You'll have positive dice and negative dice, and we'll create a pool. And whatever you're trying to do in the game, say jump over a bridge or convince somebody of something, we're going to create this pool of dice, and you're going to roll it. And any positive and negative dice that come out get removed, right? So if you roll 5 die and you get 2 positive and 3 negative, you're going to remove the positive and negative, and you're going to be left with a negative, so you would fail. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
you would have to roll, the one that's remaining would, if it's positive, has to roll under the number in whatever condition or whatever thing we're trying to do. So say dexterity, jumping over the bridge, if you have a dexterity of 3 and your remaining die is a positive die that you do it, it has to be below a 3 for you to succeed.
It has to be below a 3.
Yes, you're going to roll
It's
below
not
the
3
number.
or below?
Right, because if you had a 5 in dexterity, you have really great dexterity, right? So you would have, if you rolled the die, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 would be success.
So, but you're saying below 5, so 5 would not be a success.
What he's saying is if you were very, very dexterous and you had a 5, that means that a 1, 2, 3, or 5 on the die would all be, or a 1, 2, 3, or 4 would all be passes, which would mean that if you roll the die, you're more likely to roll a pass.
So think of it like this. We're going to build a dice pool with red and black dice, and we're going to build that dice pool by saying, hey, these are positive things that you have. You have a pretty good dexterity. You have a pole, so you can pole vault over. So we're going to add some positive dice to that. You used to be a somebody that was on track and field, so we might add another die for that. We'll create this pool. So you might have 6 positive dice and 2 negative dice. Then we'll roll all those, and then opposing dice get removed. So all that's left is whatever's left in the pool, right? And then to succeed, whatever dice are remaining have to have a value of that or below.
Yeah, so that's where I was confused, because at first you said below, but now you're saying of that or below.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So
I
less
might have
than
said
or
it
equal
incorrectly.
to, yeah, okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's what I was making sure of was.
So now what we're going to do down at the bottom, you guys have the positive and negatives underneath your features. And what we're going to do is we're going to give each of those things a name. Like, for example, my negative for myself is I tire easily. I don't have a lot of vitality, I guess you could say. So I would use that as a possible negative. Let me see if I can get you another example. The ones I posted up in the Discord are the features, right? Like if you were a distance runner, for example, you might put that in as a positive feature. But before you start picking each of these positive and negative features, you can look down at the sets that we put in there. So, for example, if you had a positive and 2 negatives and physical, that means they voted you up in the physical features, right?
Right.
If you have an extra negative. So you can choose to get rid of that negative and also get rid of your positive. Or you can just go ahead and do that. So it depends on how you want to. Do you want to go ahead and just say, I want to cancel those 2 things out? Or do I want to go ahead and give myself 1 positive and 2 negatives?
How does it work the other way around?
So if you had 2 positives,
You'd just be left with the positive instead of the negative.
yeah, you can say I just want to get rid of the negative
Okay.
instead of taking an additional
I
positive.
see. So you're trading up the potential benefits of that positive, but you only have 1 potential negative instead of 2 negatives.
That's right.
Okay. That's
So
interesting.
you guys have to, before you put down what those features are, you just decide how you want to go about it. That way we don't have a name to it yet.
Okay, I gotcha.
I think I'll just leave mine.
Boy, it's really gonna be tough to come up with 2 negatives for myself though under physical. So I just
Yeah, it's really going to be tough to only come up with 2 negatives for yourself.
Yeah, Bill, you want to give me your sheet and I'll give you mine, and then we'll just...
So, yeah, I mean, just while you guys are thinking, I'll go ahead and read some of these positives and negatives examples so people can get some ideas. Like physical features, they say a distance runner, a weightlifter, you're very flexible, you are a martial artist, you are a crack shot, you can shoot a gun really well, you have an iron stomach. Those kind of things are potential physical features that would be positive. Some of the negative features for physical would be you have a lot of allergies, you're sedentary, you have a bad back, you're nearsighted, farsighted, something like that. You have an injured eardrum, weak stomach. Those are some examples of things that might you think about yourself and what are the things that you feel might be a positive or negative in those categories.
Very attractive. Always smiling. Bill, come help me. I want help.
You can help each other.
What do you need help with? You're doing the physical right now?
I'm just looking at all of them.
What do you need for physical? A plus
I
and a
put
minus?
nearsighted
or
on there. Because that's...
2 pluses and a
I have
minus?
a plus and a minus on physical.
So near blind without
I
your
wrote
glasses
nearsighted.
could be one.
Yeah. I wrote nearsighted. I was going to put...
That's a polite way of
I was
saying
going to
it.
put
Yeah.
migraines, but that was... I don't know. It was kind of specific. How do I word that my body hates me? And I'm in pain, and I'm in pain like every day.
Frequently unwell.
Sore. You could say.
Frequently unwell. Okay.
You could say, like, if you have problems sleeping, you could say you have medication to help you sleep. You don't have to be any more of an example of that. The reason being is, say, for example, if you're nearsighted and you lose your glasses, there's going to be a negative effect on the dice pool, right?
Right.
If you need something to help you sleep and you don't have access to those pills, there may be some negative consequences of you being able to get sleep in a bad situation.
See, personally, I think I can handle pain well, but I know Bill would disagree with that. That would be my positive.
Well, this is not something Bill's going to be able to negate. This is just what you feel about yourself. We've already done that.
Put down whatever you think is accurate.
Can I have the same thing be a positive and a negative?
Yeah, it's just because I'm going to use it as a positive or negative.
Right. Because I think, like, I'm fairly big, and that is good and bad, depending on the situation.
Oh, yeah. I could put down that I'm really short.
My feet are a blessing and a curse.
Ooh, I could do that for physical.
Ladies love them. Huge feet, right?
Huge feet, huge
But they get in the way.
hands.
You're an exception to the rule, right?
So I crossed out one. Got rid of a positive and negative on the physical, which leaves me with a positive for physical, and I don't know what to put because I can only think of negatives.
Flexible.
Hyper
Which is
flexible.
Actually, not a positive.
I know. You can handle your alcohol, you know?
You do have the ability to drink large amounts of alcohol and still be somewhat able to have other ones be tolerant of you being around you.
As long as it's not you, right?
Well, most people can tolerate you when you've had large amounts of alcohol.
That's my physical positive.
There you go.
Just shoot me now.
Yeah. What the heck? Bill, you need to put avoids math under your mental. You're so bad with math.
Can't do mental math.
Also, you're really prone to distraction.
What were we talking about? I think easily distracted would be a more widely applicable negative for this game.
So my negative for physical, I put down that I'm really short. Is that good?
Yeah, I mean, that depending on the situation, that could definitely come in handy.
Bill, physically, what's a positive? Go.
You got a great rack.
That's under social. But I mean, I could add it if you want me to.
What area are we talking
Physical,
about?
positive.
Posical physical. Posical physical. Oh boy.
How much have you
Oh
had?
boy. This wine's going straight to my head. A posical. Goodness gracious.
Timestamp this for the bloopers. Jeez.
No, I haven't been drinking Ossifer.
I'm not as thinking
Is that how
as
you
drunk
wound
I
up in
am.
prison today?
Yeah. 9-hour sentence, man.
Bill, you also have no sense of direction. You have a lot of negative mental features for being so highly scored in that area.
You're really strong for your size.
Okay.
For being like 5'0", you're pretty strong.
Proportional strength of a spider.
Yeah, an ant. She's like an
What's
ant.
it called that I graduated with
Summa cum laude.
summa cum laude?
It says something that you don't know what that means. That you don't remember
Shut
what
up.
that is.
That's my empathy right there. Shut up. I just had to remember how it's spelled. Jeez. That means I'm real smart.
What's bad about low willpower? I need a negative here for mental. Like, if I see a cake in the middle of a road, I'm going to go for it.
Gives into
Yeah,
temptation.
tempted easily.
That's what I think of when I rated myself low on willpower.
Yeah.
Like, I have no
Okay.
self.
Easily
tempted.
Easily
Yeah.
tempted. I like it. That's
Yeah.
good.
All the mental negatives. Am I compulsive, Bill? Guys? Anyone?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
No. You're pretty disciplined.
I know, that's why I'm looking at the negatives. I need 2 mental negatives. And I can't relate to any of them.
You can become overwhelmed.
That's under social. That's my negative. Easily overwhelmed.
Okay.
Is there a class or something in school that you were really poor at?
No, summa cum laude.
Oh, wow.
Maybe we put a negative
I'm
under
humble.
humble.
Yeah, I'm humble. Well, here's the
there you
thing.
go.
All the social things, like easily overwhelmed, terrible, liar, short temper, anxiety, like I can identify with all of those, but I only, 2 filled up over there pretty quickly, so.
I guess it's probably pretty smart to get rid of, to cancel out if you're left with a positive, right? Like, why would I keep a negative there?
Right?
All right. Ha ha! I didn't need that negative after all.
Because really short is funny. Could be funny.
No, I'm fucking playing to win.
Too honest,
I don't care about
another
being
negative.
What's a plus for me in the mental department?
You're
Your
well
mind palace is very spacious.
Ooh.
Because there's nothing in it.
It's very well furnished. Oh, I see.
I would say you're a jack of many trades. What's the thing of something of none?
Master of
Master
none.
of none.
Master of none. But
Yeah, that's a different type of degree too. Just in case you
Yeah.
didn't know, masters.
Well, I mean, that could
you
be
know
something, like
about
well-rounded.
everything. Yeah, you're very knowledgeable. I
Yeah,
would
like
say.
well-rounded. It's not
Okay.
that-
Well-read
It's
or
pretty
whatever,
good.
knowledgeable.
I think the well-read is actually a pretty good. Again, like you said before, but like generalized, because for that type of thing, right?
Yeah.
I'm
that's
gonna
fair.
just start making
Okay.
stuff up. So
So okay, well, I'm on the social. I have 1 positive, 2 negatives. Obviously, the positive is handsome as fuck.
Obviously.
Okay.
obviously,
Or no, it should just be
That's physical.
ape shit fuck Jack.
the negative is gonna be terrible
That's my
liar.
positive.
I'm self-centered. This is a very cathartic experience for me. Getting to air out all my dirty laundry.
This is all staying in.
Also, you're both misanthropes, both of you. I had to Google what that is.
Emily and
What's a
Emily and Bill, you mean?
It is a person who.
I don't
no,
donate to charity.
No,
I've never given a dime in my life.
no. A person who.
I have no empathy.
Hate people.
Yeah,
Hate
a
the
person
world.
who hates people, avoids
suck.
society. All of you are. I think I'm the least misanthropic of all of us.
Okay, that's a good negative. That's a social negative?
Yeah.
Okay.
I need some more negatives. I need to add more negatives because I have more negatives.
For what feature?
All of them.
Well, okay, I need one more social negative. I was going to probably put, like, underestimate myself, maybe? Is that a negative?
Yeah.
Because, like, if you overestimate yourself, it's usually a negative, right?
It's also
It's definitely a
also-
negative.
both ways are negatives.
Both are
because
negative. They're,
if
you just can only estimate yourself. You can never
Exactly.
can't over or
Exactly
under.
Because if you underestimate yourself, you're likely to not even try.
Right. That's what I'm trying to think of the word.
Well, maybe
There's a word
underestimate
for
is
that.
maybe I undervalue myself. Okay, I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna undervalue myself. Wow, that's as deep as I'm getting in this game.
What's
Tell me about your traumas.
What's a positive social for me, Elena?
Let me look at the list here.
I mean, that's gonna be
You
fun
are
to come into
very,
play, though. Leland.
very well dressed.
Yeah.
You care a lot about how you're dressed. It says snappy dresser on there.
Oh, does it?
Boom. Positive. Deep V. Deep V is positive for social.
Well dressed.
Oh my gosh.
You're handsome
John,
as
what's a positive for
fudge.
mental for me?
Positive for mental.
Yeah.
I think you have a lot of determination.
Termination?
Yeah.
For my social positive, can it be that I'm self-confident? Or no?
Are you sure you want to put that under positive?
Or should I say straight talking? Like what?
Straight talk. Oh, that's a pretty good one. But for the confidence thing, I was going to say,
I think I broke
are
John.
you
Shut up.
you're confident in yourself? Yes, but do you feel that you're overconfident?
Yeah, that's what Bill was getting at.
Ding, ding, ding.
I do not feel that I'm overconfident. Am I?
It's just everybody else does.
Oh. So it's a negative. Okay, fine. Egocentric. Okay.
No, I can see your perspective that your confidence does allow
Wow.
you to
You
excel.
do
in a lot
have
of
that
ways.
1 star of empathy, Bill.
Yeah, but everybody saw right through it.
All I'm saying is that when some people twiddle their thumbs feeling self-conscious, I'm never self-conscious. That's a good thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, then just something as simple as confidence, then.
That's right.
What's wrong with saying self-confident then? I don't get.
Well, it sounds pretentious.
Okay, well then I can put
Just put pretentious.
I can put assertive too. I maybe I'm
No,
not as
no.
much-
I think I think
Decisive?
you are right. I think self-confidence. I think the distinction there is important. Actually, I do think you're right.
Well, decisive, straight talking. I have other ideas. I just don't know what ones.
Because you can be confident about yourself all day long and have zero confidence with the rest of us surviving a invasion of bugs.
Well, it's interesting because I think in the setting of the 5 of us, I might be a little bit different than with other people too. Because you know what I mean? Like each other's personalities, anytime we hang out, mesh in different ways than if you were with your family or other friends, right?
That's true. Yeah, the 4 of you definitely bring out all the bad qualities in myself.
Yeah, baby.
But if we were all in a really bad situation, like the end of the world, you know, if we collectively were in a situation where we
Right,
go,
that's
hey, we
true.
got to go up and talk to that guy over there and try to convince him not to shoot us,
Right.
which one of us is going to go
Yeah,
up
so
and
like
do
I
it?
can be super self-confident and a terrible liar.
Got it.
So if we say we want to go scare that little child over there, we would send you.
Yeah, so I'll be like, I'll go talk to that guy. You guys all be like, no.
Right.
Okay, well, the way you're portraying that is that's a negative.
Well, the terrible liar is the negative that's why you would say that.
I see.
Because I'm
Okay.
Because
I get you.
I'm a pretty terrible liar. I very much cannot lie. That's what I put down.
All right. Has everybody got everything filled in?
I do
Yepper.
not.
Okay. What do you got left?
2 negatives for mental.
All
Because
right.
I didn't identify with any of the ones on that list.
So, what's something that you are not interested in? Let's just say a skill of some kind that you would not be the least bit. You feel like you wouldn't be very good at
Bill, I don't know. Just give me.
building a computer or hacking into a computer, or do you think you'd be bad at building a shelter? Do you think you'd be what's something you feel like you'd go, I really don't have any interest in doing something like that?
Nothing comes to mind, Bill. Anything come to your mind?
Yeah, but I think looking at this table here that it gives us, I don't think all of these necessarily need to be shoehorned into the examples that they give. Like, if you, if you feel anxious over some things, I think that falls under a mental
Mental
negative.
instead of social?
Sure.
Okay.
What about like mechanics? Are you good at fixing?
Yeah, if you're not
Your
if you're
car.
not mechanically inclined.
That's a negative. If you don't, if you're in a situation where you have to fix the furnace, or you're all gonna die.
Right. We're not going to go to you. Speaking
Rip.
of mechanically inclined, I heard a news story today driving home. At one of the ferry terminals, the ferry was unloading. This guy was the last car off of like the top deck. And for some reason, he just gunned it, crashed, drove through a concrete barrier, plummeted to the deck of the ferry terminal from the top of the boat 30 feet, overturning and landing on the roof of his vehicle.
Oh, jeez.
Damn.
Wow.
I don't know what happened. There wasn't really many details, but he was still conscious at the scene and went to the hospital, but drove through a fucking
shit.
concrete barrier for God's sakes.
That's bonkers.
Could I
Damn.
I think I could change if I could change my easily overwhelmed from social to mental, then I have a lot more social negatives I can throw in there.
There you
So
go.
Makes
Okay.
sense to me.
Yeah, because are you just find yourselves being overwhelmed in social situations, right? It's not just
No,
limited
it's not
to...
social. It's mental usually. I'm usually mentally overwhelmed.
Yeah. Yeah, you tend to do very well in social situations.
Are you good at speaking in front of crowds?
Yeah, none of that.
Yeah, she doesn't
Matters
have
to
stage
me.
fright or anything.
But I have a really short temper, so I'm going to put that under social.
There you go. That's a good one.
Working on it. All right, thanks, Dad. Thanks for that, Dad.
All right, so let's run around real quick. Emily, just go through all yours real quick.
Physical, positive, high tolerance for alcohol. And I canceled out the other negative and positive. Mental, positive, determination. Negatives, no sense of direction, prone to distraction. Social, positive, always smiling. Negative, too honest, terrible liar.
Social, positive, always smiling. Could you tell she was smiling, you guys?
What'd you have, Elena, on all yours?
I am. Oh. I screwed up and put nearsighted under positive. Frick.
Well, if you don't want to see things
Yeah, I guess if you want to,
far away.
when you have bouts of anxiety, nearsighted probably comes in handy. Actually,
Someone
Just
else go while I
pop
figure
those
out
glasses
a
off and-
positive.
Bill, go ahead. What do you got?
So for the physical, positive is I have an iron stomach. A negative is that I am very accident prone. And another positive is that I can take a hit.
Oh. I didn't know that about you.
Me
Is that
neither.
true, Elena?
Yeah, that's true. He broke his nose and then drove a car within 5 minutes, and
So he's a cockroach in real life,
yeah.
While seeing double.
While promising me he was seeing not double, and yeah.
Well, the trick to seeing double is you just add whatever you see and then divide it by 2, and then you're fine. You're back to normal
Exactly.
again.
And that's why your charisma needed to be bumped up, because you
So
just...
you're good in math then.
Yeah.
So for mental, the positive is that I'm well read. I have a decent general knowledge of things. And negative is that I'm very easily distracted. In social, the positive is that I'm well dressed. The negatives are that I am self-centered and misanthropic. I generally don't always like people.
Okay. Leland?
Physical, I have a 1 plus and 2 negative. So plus is I'm big enough, but that's also a negative. I'm too big sometimes. And then my other negative is I'm very inflexible. Like ridiculously inflexible. It's really bad. Under mental, I did do the cancel and I was left with a positive. So my positive for mental is I when applied, I have good focus. Social, 1 plus 2 negative, plus ape shit fuck jacked, which basically was it's basically the equivalent of one of the examples they have is extremely attractive. That's kind of, I guess, a similar thing. I am also misanthropic, and I undervalue myself.
It doesn't sound like it.
It's true. Deep down. Okay, so I fixed my physical. So I have 2 positives and a negative to physical because y'all bumped me down. My negatives that I'm really short, small, but my positives are that I'm strong for my size and I have a high pain tolerance. And then for mental, I graduated with high honors in college and summa cum laude in high school, and brag, doesn't brush the dirt off my shoulder. And then
Yeah, but didn't you go to an American school?
Oh, burn. All right, public education system. Whiplash. And then my 2 negatives for mental are that I'm not mechanically inclined, don't expect me to fix anything, and I get overwhelmed easily. And then for social, I have a positive and 2 negatives. My positive is that I'm pretty self-confident, and then my negatives are that I have a short temper and I'm a terrible liar.
All right.
Cool.
Do all those sound good to everybody? Not that we're going to change anything, just curious. Anybody felt anybody was too harsh on themselves or anything? All right. In fairness, I'll say what I had down for myself was a positive. I only had a positive and negative on these. So strong constitution for physical, and I tire easily for physical, so negative. For mental, I said my plus is I'm organized, but my negative is I struggle to focus. So I have a lot of stuff going on all the time, and I'm typically moving around in between all those things. So I have a hard time getting all my minis painted.
Don't we all?
And then for social, I have my positive is compromising, and my negative is I am annoyed by extremes. I don't care much for people who take extreme views one way or the other.
I see.
That's
I really
close to
see
home,
that.
I think, for me.
I see that really well.
Yeah,
I really don't see. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, you're just confirming it.
He doesn't like either of you.
He hasn't liked me for about 15 years, so it's okay.
Okay, so let's move on here because we're to the next phase.
I think that's a mental
now we're
trauma.
gonna go.
Let's lay back on our couches, stare at the ceiling, and talk about how Leland undervalues himself. Leland,
God.
tell me about your childhood.
Now what we're going to talk about is equipment and supplies. Now I'm not going to tell you guys where you're going to be or what you're going to be faced with. We're going to save that for when we
Zombies,
actually start playing. But what I want you to think about is we are all going to be together. So let's assume we're all together in a social situation, and we're going to be out on a typical day, right?
Pre-COVID.
We're out in the town. Yeah, pre-COVID.
Oh, I was gonna say I have my face mask and my tape measure that's stuck at 6 feet.
Hand sanitizer.
Hello over there.
Stay away from me.
I want you to currently. Does everybody have their cell phone on them right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yepper.
I want you to take it out of your pocket, and I want you to look at it for a second.
It wasn't in my pocket, but I'm looking at it.
Sure.
Okay. Wherever your battery is right now is where you have to mark it down at.
Oh, gosh.
Nice.
I've been watching Twitch
Nailed
on my
it.
phone all day. Oh, there we go. 69%.
I've been watching Twitch on my phone all day with it
Nice.
plugged in,
Just
baby.
kidding.
So down on your equipment, put in, cell phone, 50% battery charged or whatever it is.
It was 64. So close.
Okay. And then I want you to, since we're all sort of sitting around just recording a podcast, it's not actually, how you would be out on the town, but think about the things that you might have with you. If you're carrying a purse and you had things that you would typically have in that purse.
I brought my purse up.
You don't need to list everything that's in your purse, but some of the key things that you think might come into. There you go. That's the a window.
Window breaker. Car window breaker.
Oh,
Is it really?
Wow, that does not look like you would use it to get into cars.
It's quite small,
Like something
though.
else.
Holy crap!
For the listeners at home,
You ever try to break a car window with a dildo?
it's about 6 to 8 inches long. It looks to be ribbed.
There are a lot of ridges on that.
There are many ridges, and it's
It's
Yeah.
for your grip.
It's got a
Bill.
key ring, so
For
you
your
can't,
grip.
so you don't lose it.
That's so you can
you
pull
don't
it
want
back
to
out.
lose it.
You string on that.
Every
Baby.
good butt plug does have a flange on it. So we've had this conversation before, I think, a couple of times.
That's right. So, things that you would typically have. I don't know if you would carry a pocket knife. If you have, if you were a smoker, you would have a lighter on you. But none of us.
No, but I
are.
know exactly what Bill has every single time. Pack of
I
gum.
usually have a pocket knife, a gun, a lighter.
You have your little wallet, a pack of gum, and a chapstick. That's all.
Yeah,
and your
I mean,
water bottle.
I never have anything on me. I got my wallet, my keys, and probably a sleeveless shirt. So I'm just gonna put it in there.
I have 4 games. We're set.
There you go. You should put that,
You-
you should put that
You
down.
guys, I have a bracelet that's made of paracord. I have parachute cord.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, sweet.
They're the little gum stick games.
Yeah, they're pretty neat. It's good games to play while you're waiting at a restaurant. You remember in the before days when we did that?
Right, yes, when we used to be able to go to restaurants.
I have glasses
Good
cleaner in
times.
case your glasses get dirty. But
That's good for all you.
So I want you to think what you would be carrying on you if we all got together in a city and we were going out for the day to just hang out.
Band-Aids, guys.
If you have Band-Aids there, that would be a
For
good
the
thing
end
to
of the
put down.
world.
So we don't have to go over everything here while we're talking, but write down a good 7 or 8 things, and then we'll sort of gloss over those when we get started in actual gameplay. Because I'll tell you where you are and what you're doing, and then we might add a few things at that point.
I see. Okay, cool.
That you might have on.
I think the girls can MacGyver lots of stuff, while the boys
So far,
are just...
I'm contributing nothing.
Do you like?
But you're good looking, so it's
Do
okay.
you bring your
Okay.
water bottle
I
like
made
everywhere
sure
you
to
go?
Oh, I do actually.
So that's like a good,
There you go. That's a good
because
thing
we
to
bring
have.
ours like everywhere.
Yeah, I'm literally never without it, except right now.
What this equipment's going to do is add things to your dice pool. For example, some of the things that they give as examples, a small bladed weapon like a pocket knife would add a positive die to your dice pool. Say a pistol might add a positive die.
Who's carrying around a pistol?
Shotgun. Well, you might find one. You're not going to have one on you at the time.
Bill, you'd be happy to know that I refrained from saying something really inappropriate.
Well, now I want to know.
I'm glad you didn't say anything about
I'm a
it, so none
sniper
of
with
us
my
would be
pellet
curious.
gun is what you're going to say?
He says he doesn't want me to get too... What was the word?
Well, we can talk about how large my unit is. That's fine. My big gun.
Go ahead, Bill. No, we're all on the edge of our seat.
It's 3.5 inches.
All right.
When I'm excited.
I thought you were going to say 6. 3 in, 3
Oh,
out.
God.
Yes, I've never heard that. It's so good. How have I never heard that?
TWSS.
TWSS, baby.
All right.
Oh
so
my
now the
God,
last
this is
thing
ridiculous.
we're going to do, and we'll get to that, is list any traumas. Now, once again, this is something that you only put down
not
what you
big
feel
enough.
Micro penis.
feel comfortable doing. The examples would be like if you currently have
micro penis.
a sprained ankle or something that might affect the gameplay.
I don't think a micro penis is gonna come up. But so I think we'll
You got to remember who's DMing.
You never know, Leland.
well, the thing about a micro penis is you can never tell if it's up.
Should I just sum mine up by saying my body's falling apart? I mean, or should I specifically list every single thing?
How much time do we have?
Exactly.
So yeah, so some examples they have of physical traumas are twisted ankle, first-degree burn, infected wound, sickness, blurry vision. Then some of the other things would be well, we're not going to get into all that. So essentially, you don't have to just have, if you have something that's going to be affecting the game, you feel should be brought up and affecting the game, add it in. We don't need to go over it right now, and we actually play in the game. If you had something would bring up to add or to add a negative die to the pool.
Oh, okay. Like my hands and or forearms are currently covered in cardboard cuts. So I feel like that's a pretty good trauma.
Ouch.
So just write those on the back of your sheet right now,
okay.
and take a note of it, and then we'll bring them up if they come up. But what'll happen? You will gain traumas through the game, depending on how things happen. So we'll briefly go over how this works, and then we'll hit it up again a little bit when we start playing. But essentially, you guys see where on your character sheet it says stress and resistance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll see it's got a 1, 2, and a 3 levels, sort of rows that have. And each row has 3 little spots where you can fill in those blanks. So when we do a test and we roll something, you're going to build that pool. And if you have whatever negative dice are remaining at the end of that test are going to be translated into stress. And there could also be other things that cause stress. And when we fill that in, you're going to fill them in starting at the bottom, and you're going to fill in the blocks 1, 2, 3 on the bottom row, and then you'll go up to the second row and start filling them in across. If you fill in all 9, you're dead on any of the 3 categories.
Okay.
So if your physical goes all the way up and you fill in all 9 blocks, you will die. But what you can do is you can rest and essentially transfer those stress into a trauma. And if you see down below that, there is a line that says traumas. It's got 1 day, 1 week, and 1 month. So what we do at that point is we would clear all of those spots out, and I believe it's on level 2 and level 3 would be wiped all the way down. And then we would go down and write a trauma down in the bottom. Like, say during the game, you try to jump across a creek, you fall, and you twist your ankle, and that takes you over your stress level. Then I might say that you broke your ankle. Or you might have to get over a fractured ankle. It might take a week. So then it's going to take a week in gameplay before you're going to be able to get. So that would automatically add a negative die to your pool if you ever do anything with a physical characteristic. We won't get into it too much, but during gameplay, we'll talk about it. So we don't have to go over the rules, during character creation. So that's pretty well it for building your character.
So you just wanted us to write how many traumas on the back?
Just put some different things down that don't consider them traumas. Let's just talk about if you have some physical characteristics that you feel that might come into play with the game.
Right. Just physical or the other ones too?
Yeah, whatever kind of things with physical, mental, or social that might come into play. I just want them on the back of your sheet, so we might bring them up at some point in time. Don't think about it too much. Just if something pops into mind, hey, I've got carpal tunnel, then we'll write that on the back and maybe we'll use that. That's pretty much it from a character creation standpoint. So we'll go over the basic rules next time we get together, as far as like how to set a dice pool, how to do the test, and then we'll just get right into it.
Okay, sweet. Did we say what one we're doing? I don't think we did.
We didn't. Do you want to reveal that?
Sure. I don't see why not, right?
We're doing the one called Skitter. So, there's really, you already sort of know what's going to happen, so it really doesn't matter. Just remember in End of the World, like any RPG, we're not playing to win. You're playing to survive as long as you can, essentially. It is the end of the world. And I guess you can win, but it's going to be highly unlikely. How do you win Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So we're going to play. So I'll read the Skitter Apocalypse version. It says, millions of them crawling over everything. 6 legs, twitching antenna, crackling mandibles. It's enough to give you the creeps, even if you weren't already flat out horrified. Ants, bigger than people, destroying everything. Digging their tunnels, piling their mounds of earth until they blot out the sun. No one knows where they came from. Aside from the obvious, space. How giant ants get from one planet to another, well, that's not entirely clear either. But those strange meteors came, and the ants emerged immediately, beginning their industrious labors. They don't seem to be intelligent. There's no way to communicate with them. They just act like, ants. What do we do if there are millions of them, though? Too many to kill all of them. And they're all hungry for resources and food, including people. I only hope that people drugged down into their hives get a quick death.
Whoever wrote that little lead in there has never met Leland Steele with the charisma of 4. I have yet to come across an ant I could not persuade. Let me tell you. Let me tell you.
Well, good thing you're underestimating your worth.
That's honest.
I initially thought that these were going to be spiders, and I was not impressed.
He said 6 legs. Come on.
I know. I wasn't paying attention.
Alien spiders.
To catch that.
I was just going to say, yeah, it's an alien breed
spiders.
of spiders.
All right, so that's it. I think we've got ourselves ready to go, and
Sounds terrible.
we will we'll see it. Now, this is going to be very similar, like a paranoia type of thing, except not as crazy as paranoia, of course. But you guys are going to be convincing me on how you want to do, what you want to do, and what skills you want to use, and you'll be trying to give me all the reasons to give you additional positive dice, and I will be trying to be realistic and add in and level out with the negative dice based on what you're trying to do. So we'll move on in the next episode.
Yay! So I will say, though, before we end, I do know what to do. I've seen Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. All we need to do is find a giant cookie and tame an ant, and we can ride it back to the house to get unshrunk.
I was
This is
going to
gonna
say,
be easy.
there is a movie,
Oh my God.
Ants.
Nah,
That's
never heard of it.
exactly what it says in the book to
Bob's Life?
do. Well, shit.
Ant-Man?
Classic.
I don't know. How do we sign these off? I forget. I don't know.
I don't remember.
I don't think we did a sign
Thanks
off
for
on
being
these, did we?
Patreons. Bye.
Thanks. Hope 2021 treats you better than a planet full of giant ants.
That works.